and carry Annie.
Oh, it's Chris Avalon Unfiltered, bitch. Oop. Hi. Hey, what's up, everybody? What's going on? It's your boy, Chris Avalon, and welcome to a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered, where we basically just spill all the tea and the latest headlines and what's going on in celebrity news and gossip. And yeah, it's not a lot going on today, but there are a couple of topics that I wanted to address. Mainly, I want to definitely talk about all the stuff that's going on with Funky Dineva and Fox Soul and TGIF and Flame Monroe and Tasha K, a certain her fucking ass up and stuff. Oh wait, I forgot. You're not supposed to curse a couple of minutes into the thing, but whatever. Um, so there's stuff going on with that. Plus Kelly Price out here spilling tea about her contemporaries from that old gospel show she used to be on, saying a bunch of nothing, but I got my opinions on it, with the whole Sunday best situation. Plus, Oprah is doing whatever she can at this point to clean up her image because everybody's dragging her over the stuff that happened on behind the scenes with the color purple. Plus, people are dragging Vivica Fox for, going in and letting him and saying that her Taraji experience is not her experience. People mad over the way she answered the question. I got my thoughts on that. We also got the clip. Plus, Bernice King, the child of Martin Luther King and Coretta Scott, is coming out, going in and letting have on Jonathan Majors over, him trying to compare every woman that he sticks his peen in to Coretta Scott King. And the people over there in the King household is tired of his foolishness. Plus, Lil Nas X is clapping back at his haters who have a problem with him posting this religious imagery or whatever the case is for his new song that he has coming out. I heard a little bit of it. I'll give my thought because he did tease the song. So, I heard a little bit of it. I think about an hour ago he put that piece or whatever out there. And I'll give my thoughts on that at the end of the show. But before we kick off these hot topics, do yourselves a solid and hit that like, subscribe, and notification button so that way you'll know when I be going live with a brand new show. And then also let the algorithm do its thing so that way, they know I'm on the internet doing what I'm doing. And also follow on my social media platforms, which you can find down in the description below if you are watching live on YouTube. And this is also being that it's live, I do welcome for those of you who are tuning in to go in and leave comments and stuff depending on the topics, and they do make it on the show. And I do respond to all the comments that come through, good, bad, or indifferent. I'm all for everybody having an open difference of opinion, all that other stuff. So there's that. So without further ado, chair, let's get into some of these topics. Now, there are some topics that I wanted to get into before we get to the main ones. And so yesterday, Echo dropped its entire series on Disney Plus. So I watched it. I binged it. I literally stayed up the whole night watching it because it was only 5 episodes, which to me is a red flag. There's enough. Well, not only that, but it's also a red flag whenever it comes to Disney stuff. What is up with y'all with the whole 6 episode? Like that's the max that y'all do with seasons, and it's like Netflix does that too, but Netflix does it where it's like every season got a damn 8 episode order. Like I don't like that. I think it should be a solid 10, maybe push to a 12, but I don't like the whole thing where y'all just only push it to like 6 episodes. But this show was 5, and I have to say, while I did like some of the stuff that was in it, I love the Native American representation. I love the fact that they were using a lot of Native American music in the show, and I did love seeing Native American culture being embraced in small, on the small screen and stuff. I have to say, I just thought that the series was a disappointment. I expected a whole lot more from it. I feel like, it had moments. I feel like there was issues with the pacing, and I did well. There was a couple of things though. I just did not like the way they handled Kingpin in this whole series. It's like, and then the end felt rushed also, so that kind of disappointed me as well. It's like y'all spread out this thing, y'all was trying to stretch it out to make it to like be worth 5 episodes, but it just, you didn't give a lot of the people on the show, including Echo, much to do. And to me, I think like, I'm wondering if people feel that if they saw that movie Silent Night with Joel Kinnaman, and when I was hearing the reviews, they were saying that the issue that they had with doing that type of thing. It's not easy when you have someone who is the main character that doesn't speak, that they, with her, she uses sign language and stuff. But I think with Joel Kinnaman, he didn't even say a word in the whole damn movie that he was in. And they were just like, well, that affected the film because of the whole, like, no, and people barely talk, even though there were people in the show that talked and were using, like, there was a lot of sign language. And I guess it would probably turn a lot of people off because there was a lot of reading people had to do throughout the show. So I'm sure that could probably be annoying because I know a lot of people get irritated with just watching foreign films with some damn subtitles. So nevertheless, I don't know. I just was disappointed. I was expecting a whole lot more, I guess. And I could see why they just dropped the whole season because I just feel like 5 episodes, y'all wasn't gonna be able to stretch that out. And some of the episodes were long, some of the episodes were short, but it wasn't given like Reacher, where it's like, oh well, we'll just give you 3 episodes. Every episode was a banger, and then now you have to tune in and watch it every week. So I don't know. I expected more. I did love the cameo from Daredevil. I did like the fact that they brought him on for that brief sequence, and I could definitely see that why they decided at the last second, like after Echo and that whole the edginess and the action, the blood and the violence, and they were going a little more edgier than what you get on Disney. That they decided to course correct. It was like, you know what, maybe we need to go there because of the response that they got from him being a part, in having his cameo. Now we need to rejudge Daredevil and kind of go back to the whole Netflix vibe, which is what I think a lot of the fans, when they heard that Disney had picked up the Daredevil series, that's what we were hoping for. We were hoping for that, Daredevil, we would still get that Daredevil from that universe and come over here. So that part I'm looking forward to. And I'm actually hoping and praying that this Disney vibe version of Daredevil is going to be way better than what we've gotten. But yeah, I think Disney has a long way to go to figure out how they're going to make their shows interesting for people to watch. But yeah, so far I was like, I love the representation. I like seeing the indigenous culture on there. But for the most part, I just felt like this was just a throwaway series. This is a one and done. I'm not, I don't think they're even going to come with a season 2, but we don't need it. It was what it was. If y'all want to have Echo come on and make cameos through future seasons of Daredevil, where she pops up every now and again, then we'll see how that works. But I don't know. It was just a lot of the stuff that was going on in the show overall just wasn't hitting it for me. So, and now the second topic I wanted to talk about was Jennifer Lopez. She dropped her new video, but just can't get enough or can't get enough. I actually liked the video. I thought the video was cute. Um, it's basically, what I loved about it was that she poked fun of herself in the video, and I was like, oh, this feels a little bit autobiographical. So I'm actually looking forward to what's going to happen with this. So like she released the visual, and there's going to be a whole musical experience, like a film or something, like a visual album, like what Beyonce and all them been doing. So on February 16th, we'll get to see the rest of it all play out on Prime Video. But it was directed by Dave Byers, who gave us videos from Drake, Missy Elliott, Taylor Swift, Pink. Like he's been in the business for a lot. Like even when I was coming up in the era of like the Pinks and the Backstreet Boys and stuff, Dave Byers was like the go-to music video director when, excuse me, MTV was, on its stuff, when it was on and popping, when people cared about MTV. Now only tuning to MTV just to watch RuPaul's Drag Race. But for the most part, no, I don't really care about what's on MTV. Well, RuPaul's Drag Race and The Challenge, I'll say that. Those are the only two. And then every now and again, I will say I do take a gander at Jersey Shore Family Vacation because now the whole gang is back. Now they bringing back Ronnie to be with Sammy, and we're gonna see how that works out in the upcoming season. But nevertheless, it's about J-Lo, so let's continue on that. So what I loved about the video is just like, you know what? It starts out where you see her getting married to this guy. I guess is like her and then it's showing like the different series of her going through her multiple marriages. So she marries this guy, and then one of the guys whispers to the girl, he's like, I told her she can't be alone. And she got, he won a bet. So he was given, some money, which I thought was cute because it's like, okay, look at J-Lo making, she is what the peoples be saying about her on social media. And she incorporated it into the video. And so I also like the idea, she she breaks into a dance number out in where they had the wedding, which is like in this, at this mansion on the outside. And so then they get in the car and then they're all dancing, her, the bridesmaids and the groomsmen and all that stuff. Then they get to the reception and Derek Huff winds up coming in and they do break out into a dance number, which I think Derek Huff is playing one of her previous husbands because there's a situation of her, like she's on the dance floor with these different men and there's like all the different men that have been in her life that she was married to before she settled with the current husband. So then we get that with Derek Hub, and then we get grown star Trevor Jackson comes and he breaks out into a dance thing. But then we get this cliffhanger where there's a extreme close up of J-Lo's face, and then it pans out, then you hear these little voiceovers and stuff like, oh, she spends too much time working, and she's always, even when she has a job, she's, doing this, that, and the other. And it's just like, um, so overall, I will say, so I'm just looking forward, like basically just to wrap this all up because I won't spend too much time on it. It's not a lot going on in the video, but I do think that it was just a cute little video, her in the white wedding dress, her poking fun at a lot of the stuff that people were saying. And I feel like with this video, it's going to address all the naysayers and all the people that have been saying stuff. And to me, I feel like even though they say that This Is Me Now is a sequel to This Is Me Then, which was her third album, and this, I believe, is her ninth album, I feel like that this is going to be her most personal album to date. And I like the fact that she's not going through the motions and just giving a bunch of songs just so she can keep her relevancy up in the music business, that she's actually making music and she's actually giving some insight into her personal life. Now it'll be interesting to see if her prior husbands come out and say, okay, now a lot of stuff in this video ain't accurate, and they come out and say what they need to say. But I don't know, Chris Judd and them, they always try to be diplomatic in their relationship. Like, we have never, that's another thing too, did she have them sign like a gag order or something or another? Because we've never heard, I don't think, I think the only person that I'm aware of that may have said some stuff about Jennifer Lopez and their marriage was Ohani. I think he's the only one that came out and said something. So, good luck to you, ma'am. And I'm actually looking forward to hearing the rest of the album. The song is cute. It's a bop. It's got, of course, it's a sample because that's all everybody does these days. Everybody's sampling every damn thing. I heard the new Ariana Grande song that's coming out this week is going to be a sample of Madonna's Vogue, which it seems to be the go-to song that everybody wants to go to in regards of house music references. So we got that. We had Beyonce doing it with her era. Everybody done took the blueprint from Madonna, but shout out to her. And shout out to you, J-Lo. And like I said, I'm looking forward to what you're gonna bring with this album because I feel like, this might be actually a good record. Look, I make my little jokes about J-Lo. Y'all know because y'all watch. But I like J-Lo. I like how hard she works. I like, when she puts stuff out, she always gives glam. She is one of the hardest working women in the business. I know people was making fun of Brie Larson because she was fangirling at the Golden Globes on the red carpet when she ran into J-Lo and Derek Frazier, but was up there next to her. But I'm like, that was a cute moment. What's wrong with fangirling out over another celebrity? It's like, you know what? You inspired me and you made me want to act because I saw you in Selena. I think that was adorable. So, I got a heart every now and again. Okay, I do see there's a comment. Rose said, what do you think? Oh, it's funny. I didn't even read your comment and I brought it up. He said, what did I think Brie Larson saying the movie Selena inspired her to act when she had already enrolled at acting school by the time it came out? Well, it probably was. You know what? Sometimes I think when it comes to people, it's a Freudian slip or they say certain things just because it's just diarrhea of the mouth. But I do not think that Jennifer Lopez inspired Brie Larson to become an actress, because if you always had it within you to want to be an actor, then I don't think Selena was the movie that made you want to just get up and do it. I think there were other movies that came before that may have done it, but maybe, who knows? Maybe maybe Selena put a pep in her step to be like, you know what, I'm really going to take this seriously. But I do think that she does admire Jennifer Lopez and she's a fan and she was just happy to, who knows? Because, a lot of people that show up at the Golden Globes, they do be drinking, right? I don't think they just be drinking when they get in the room and sit at the table. I think a couple will be taking a couple of shots before they, while they getting ready, and then they, the people's getting them in the outfits and they get in the car on their way to the Golden Globes. So I think that's what that was. But anyway, let's move on and let's get into this tea, child, because honey, yesterday when I was in the midst of gathering all this information, and then more stuff started coming out in regards of the whole, Funky Dineva situation with the drama that was going on with her over at TGIF. So, things are getting messy, child. So it all started basically, I mean, I could be wrong with this whole situation, but to me, it just like when I started hearing and picking up things, Claudia went live on social media asking fan questions, and then she talked about Funky leaving Fox Soul. She said that Funky basically, don't be quiet, don't be talking too much or throwing shade at production or other stuff in case you would have come back to the show. And then she brought up in the live, because everybody kept flouting her about bring Funky back, pay Funky, play Funky, and y'all been doing that shit too. on the TGIF show when y'all be in the comments posting how many views or how many people is in the chat with Funky to try to intimidate and make them feel bad over at TGIF. It's like, stay out of that. I think I know y'all. I don't know what y'all doing. I don't know if y'all trying to be messy or if y'all mean well or whatever. But y'all need to stay out of grown folk business and what all other stuff. If you want to sit over there and you want to watch Fox Soul, watch Fox Soul. If you want to watch Funky Dineva, watch Funky Dineva. But I don't see what kind of joy y'all get out of posting consistently in the TGIF chat. Oh, well, Funky got 20,000 people in the chat. Y'all only got 5. It's like, what's the point of that? Like, to me, it's just petty, it's stupid, and it's childish. So, if you're, like I said, if y'all gonna rock with one, rock with one. If you want to rock with both, rock with both. Me personally, I'm done with TGIF, and I'm gonna tell you why after I get through all of this. So, Claudia, like I said, she went on the live and she was asking questions, and then she also brought up, which I thought was a little messy. She said that production asked Funky to sit back, I guess the computer or the mic and all the other stuff, all the equipment, basically. I don't know what they gave him, but the equipment that they need to use for the show, they wanted him to give it back. That ain't nobody business. You ain't had to bring that up. See, Claudia don't know how to, not have diarrhea in the mouth or say something that is not going to put her foot in her mouth and people going to drag her. We didn't need to know about all of that because a lot of people don't know about behind the scenes and production stuff. She also went and did an interview with Conscious TV. I do have it linked on my website. If y'all have not seen that interview, it's 4 hours. I don't know if y'all got the patience, but just letting y'all know. And she talked about, her upbringing, growing up biracial. She talked about Funky again. She talked about Cocktails with Queens being canceled, even though the ratings wasn't bad on the show. They just didn't have the money to be paying everybody over there. I guess they was thinking that it was too big for their britches. But then, Funky wound up doing a live at 8 o'clock on Monday, the same time that TGI does their show, which had fans speculating that there might be some deeper going on. There might be some beef or whatever the situation was. So then Funky got on his live on Monday, wear some lipstick and that horrible ass shake and go wig. And then, around the 45-minute mark, he went and started talking about, leave me the F alone. I don't bother nobody over here. I had to let that be know, and also like he was talking about a bunch of stuff. So people thought that he was talking about Claudia Jordan. Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. I have no idea. But apparently the gag is that they did some shady mess over there at TGIF and they brought on Flame Monroe. Now everybody knows Flame Monroe is a comedian, if you want to call her that. And is very problematic in a lot of stuff that they say because she's supposed to be transgender, but then to me, to describe Flame, she gives very much pick me, which is she is the equivalent of the queer community, like Candace Owens is to the black community. And I think a lot of people within that circle don't really like Flame like that, so, which is why, you get the Charlemagne's or the Trashy K's, and we're going to get on her in a minute too, like to pull her over there because they want to start mess. So apparently Funky is pissed because Fox Soul did some shady mess and invited Flame on their show to be the moderator this week, well, to be the guest co-host this week because they don't have a new guest co-host. So now they're trying to bring people in to make the show interesting or whatever the case was. So I do have the clip of Funky going on his show yesterday talking about the whole Flame thing because what had happened with this was this. He said Trashy K went and called him on his phone while he was minding his business and was like, do you want to squash your beef or whatever with Flame? I got them here so that we can have a conversation and y'all can squash whatever beef that y'all have going on. Funky says he did not have no issue with Flame, but Flame name been in his mouth the whole time talking about this, that, and the third. And then Funky's over here minding his business. But Funky did at one point say that the only, because I think they were talking, I think if I remember correctly, there was a topic they were talking about trans issues and stuff on TGIF, and they said, oh, we need to bring, we need to have like a broader perspective and bring trans pundits on the show. Like they've had T.S. Madison. I don't know who else they've had. I don't know if they've had Hope Giselle. I don't know if they've had Laverne. They probably can't afford Laverne Cox or or that sort of thing. So I don't know what other trans people they've had. I do know that they've had T.S. Madison on the show, but to me, T.S. Madison, she tries to play a certain role when she's on those shows. Like, she'll go in and she'll say what she needs to say, but she's not going to go down in the gutter like she do on Maddie in the Morning. So she's going to hold back a bit when she's on other people's platforms. It's like, I'll be respectful of your platform, but I'm going to still stand 10 toes down and say what I need to say. I'm just not going to go as hard as I would on my own platform. But if I'm on these people's spaces, I am going to say what I'm going to say, but I'm going to just curl my mouth a little bit. I ain't going to cuss or, whatever it is that is the requirement and the rules to be on that show. So I think that what it was that they were talking about having Flame come on the show as a person that could talk about trans issues. And I think Funky took the wrong, didn't like that idea, was like, the only way Flame ever coming on this show is if I'm not here, which, if we look at it, that is how Flame came on the show. Now, a lot of times I do think with a lot of stuff that's going on, I do think it's production being messy. A lot of them don't know what the hell they doing over there, what's going on. And we could tell that they a little messy and don't know what the hell they doing over there, because when I'm watching the show, it just seems like these producers and stuff is just, they don't know what they're doing. Like, I just don't understand how y'all dropping the ball on a whole bunch of other stuff. And then when it comes to I don't see what the point is of having Flame on the show, because to me, I already know what Flame gives. I already know, like, if they talk about certain things, it's going to be rooted in controversy, which I love controversy. Controversy is good. It brings the ratings. But when you got somebody on there where, let's be clear, remember this, Funky at one point did accuse Claudia being transphobic. And I say, yeah, you do have your ways about you that it does come across as transphobic in a lot of how you say things and the delivery. So if you have a Flame on there, especially when they be talking about the trans issues and stuff on that show, I totally understand what Flame is going to give. And people like Claudia, people like Charlamagne, people like Trashy K, people like all of them come up on there and they like what she gives, because she fits in that pick me narrative of like, oh, I'm not going to, you can have your opinion about things, but it's not in a way to disrespect women. But we have to understand that we all got to occupy the same space at some point, whether we like it or not. So what I want to do is I'm going to get to that clip of Funky basically letting the people know what had happened when, where is it? Is this it? No. It is my video. I don't know why I don't see it. But I was like, I want to, now it pops up. Okay, so now I want to pull up the video of him spilling the tea about what happened in last night's episode, so that way y'all get a clear view of Trashy K being a messy ass bitch and then all this other foolishness.
But I was laying in the bed, minding my business like I always do, and my phone rang, and it was Tasha K. It was Tasha K. And I looked at the phone, and I'm like, Lord, what Tasha K want? And just for the record, it's not... Okay, hold on. Before I finish, do y'all want me to slow the chat down one more time? Right now, people can only post that.
Let me get... Because I'm like, child, we don't care. Let's move that on.
All right. I think let's slow it down a little bit. And she wanted to know, would I be willing to have a conversation with Flame Monroe? And I told her no. I said, there's no real reason for me and Flame Monroe to have a conversation. I don't know Flame. We don't occupy the same spaces. We don't roll in the same circles. We in two different age brackets. There is no real reason for me to have any type of conversation with Flame Monroe. All right. Then by the end of the conversation, I said, she said, Q, are you sure you don't want to talk to Flame? I said, listen, I'm always down to broker peace. If Flame wants to talk, fine. Me and Flame can talk. So Tasha calls me today. She says, hey, do you have 5 minutes? I said, yeah, what's going on? She said, I got Flame on the phone. This is off the record. Cool. She was like, would you be down to talk to Flame? I'm like, okay, whatever. So me and Tasha started talking, and she said, okay, is it okay if I record this for the culture? And, y'all two can talk for the culture. And I said, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm not interested in having a conversation with Flame Monroe recorded, because I want to be part of a circus. The only thing left to do in that moment, is for me and Flame Monroe to get to arguing. It get posted on TashaKLive.com, and then it just become all this fodder for YouTube. And y'all know that I don't like being in YouTube drama. I don't like being in the story. So Flame in the background, selling out, talking all loud and hostile. Oh, well, whatever. I don't even want to do a recording because he rocks in public. It's only right that he talk in public. That right there let me know the energy that she was coming to this conversation with. She wanted a show. She wanted a read session. She had pre-rehearsed her reads and wanted to sit there and collect me together on a recorded phone call for it to go viral. You're not getting a moment out of me, sweetie. So I said, girl, bye. I hung up the phone. I went to YouTube and I made a video really quickly just detailing what happened because I already knew just that 1 second snippet of me and Tasha talking was going to become a thing. I knew it was going to become a thing. Just that 1 second snippet. Sure shit thanks. I am on Instagram minding my business like I always do. And before I can even wipe my ass good and come to talk to y'all.
Online yesterday and bumped two people that I'm close to. And I tried to mediate behind the scenes. Now, what you're seeing here, before anybody try to make clickbait videos, this interview was already put in stone before the beef happened behind the scenes, okay? And so we did address a lot of the beef during this interview between these two, and I tried to rectify it, and I just need to mind my motherfucking business, okay? And so, Flame! What's up, man? Let me tell y'all something. Stay tuned. I'm on Fox Solo Week. This interview was dynamite. Y'all know I'm not a messy bitch, but on this interview, it was my turn. And bitch, if you come after me, mother got bigger hands and a bigger dick and a bigger bank account than you. Come get it. I'm at Lawsuit Central, y'all. I'm waiting on the lawsuit. Oh, my God. Yes. I'm going to rename my show Lawsuit Central. That's good. I'm going to do a sitcom called Lawsuit Central.
The fire marshal calling the girl. The fire marshal coming.
All right, so y'all got pretty much a good enough justification of the situation. Child, first of all, I don't know how you have Flame Monroe in that red wig looking like Bob the Builder up in here trying to read. And I saw what Tasha was doing. What Tasha wanted was that, okay, so that may be true. The fact that you already had that interview in the bag, it just happened to be a perfect zeitgeist moment that this whole drama was going on with TGIF and Funky Dineva, and you thought to seize the moment. That's what you thought it was. You wanted to come in, seize the moment, and you thought that you was going to be able to get like this big ratings blowout by getting Funky to come on and broker peace. You wanted to broker a peace treaty between them two when it's like, okay, well, Flame on some other mess because I already know she trying to pull stunts of shows, and you're not really thinking about your friendship with Funky. Now, I could have told him because he said after the whole fire marshal bit that he was doing, because I was like, I'm not going to sit there and have y'all just watch all this foolishness before he gets to the rest of the point. I'm gonna tell you what the rest he said. So he basically said that his relationship with Tasha is done. Like, just leave me alone. You be over there, I'll be over here. I'm gonna do my own thing. We're not even gonna get involved or whatever the case is, because I've been said this: when people show you who they are, believe them the first time. She has showed her ass to every actual pundit, blogger, you name it, she has shown it to them. She has shown her face to Storm Monroe, another Monroe. You know, her and them two don't rock it, with each other no more. She showed her ass with T.S. Madison, showed her ass with Armand Wiggins, showed her ass with Jason Lee. So when you got a long list of other bloggers that she don't get along with, who you think is the problem? Her, obviously. And now you got Funky Dineva on the list. And to me, when I watched him on TGIF, he has always made a point to like protect his relationship with her on TGI, especially when they've had those conversations where they talked about Cardi B trying to get her money and all this other stuff, and everybody say what they say, and then it come to Funky, and people would get mad at him because like, well, why won't you go out and really say what you want to say or say what they want you to say about this whole situation on the show? And he's like, because that's my friend, and so I guess he value friendships different than she do. Tasha ain't friends with nobody but herself and them kids and that husband. That's who she loyal to, and I doubt she probably loyal with them. But there's no loyalty with her. She's going to do whatever. She's going to take whatever opportunity she can. That's going to help her within the end. Which is why she get out here getting sued by Kevin Hart. She's out here getting sued by Cardi B, and a laundry list of other people who have been coming for her neck because she out here talking sideways out her mouth on some BS. Like, there is no loyalty with Trashy K. She is who she is, and you needed to realize that. And now I think what I don't like about people is that y'all will rock with somebody who's problematic until they F you over. Before that, it's just like, oh no, well, because that's the overall attitude that I be getting from people, especially like Funky. Is, well, she ain't do that mess to me that they did to that one over there until they do it to you. Then you want the sympathy and empathy. And I do rock with Funky, and I love him, and I'm a fan of the shows and all the, the roasting gags and all the stuff he does. But we got to call a spade a spade. And to me, it was just like, this was an opportunity that she wanted, and she wanted to seize the opportunity, and it backfired. And now he's realizing that Tasha ain't nobody but a damn user, and she's gonna do what she got to do to get what she want. Now, to wrap this topic up, what does the future hold for TGIF? Does that mean that the show about to get canceled because they can't find another Funky Dineva? I think at this point they need to stop looking for the next Funky Dineva, and what they need to do, because look, this is the biggest online breakup since the Queen's Court with T.S. Madison and Kaya. Like, we ain't never had a show that was like this big and this viral and this, within within a black media space, online media space, where people were sitting up there talking like that. So it was like, I used to love watching the Queen's Court with with T.S. Madison and Kaya. And then they had their little situation and broke up. And that's why I feel like this is, Al's good at what he does, being the brand strategist. Although I do have problems with him always putting his face up the ass of the elite and the rich. He do get on my nerves with that. And the fact that he will ride or die for black love, whether it's toxic or not. And I'm like, you need to stop that. Like, all relationships ain't good relationships. And I'm not going to ride with somebody being in a toxic relationship because you want to go hard for black love. I don't think so. A toxic relationship is a toxic relationship, and we need to address it all and not just only want to be on it, especially, first of all, his ass single. So I don't even know how he out here trying to ride for something that he ain't even got. And then Claudia, she does what she does. She the moderator and all that other mess. And she come in with her stuff and now and again, but she do get on my damn nerves whenever it is that they talk about LGBT issues, because it do feel a little bit like you feel like you threatened as a woman, because whenever they talk about stuff that got to do with the trans community, bitch, your pussy and your titties is intact. Ain't nobody trying to take that from you. You're good where you're at. So relax. But I feel like at this point, what they need to do is they need to find other YouTubers, commentators. They probably ain't gonna pick me because with all the stuff I just been saying now. And we're like, oh no, you're a little, you just threw shade at the other people. But I was like, look, I gotta be honest and I gotta say what needs to be said, whether people want to hear it or not. That's why people come here. It's called Kris Avalon Unfiltered. So when you do those type of shows, you do need to find, I guess, those YouTube pundits. Don't try to find the next Funky Dineva. You need to find somebody who is well versed in celebrity news, pop culture, and politics. It ain't got nothing to do with age. It has nothing to do with anything else. It has to do with experience and those who were well versed. We love the verse over here. You got to be well versed in, everything. You got to be able to talk about a whole lot of stuff. And it can't just be like, oh, we only going to talk about Sexy Red and all this other stuff. You got to be able to talk about all the other stuff too. And I do feel like a lot of the chunk of the audience was there because of Funky Dineva, is that he was the one that most people were tuning in for because he was being silly. He was saying a lot of what a lot of people was thinking, but he's got the platform to say it. And that's that. So I'll be watching to see what the future holds for the show, whatever. I don't necessarily know if I'm going to dip my toe and watch TGIF this week, because like I said, I don't like Monroe. I don't like what she stands for. She is a hot ass mess. She is not TV pundit material, and I don't see it for her. So when they get rid of her, they bring somebody else in the following week, we'll see. But y'all need to, I don't know, bring in an Oliver Twist, bring in a Make It Make Sense, bring in a, who else is out here? I mean, I would say me, but this mouth. But maybe that's what they need over there. Who knows? But throw my hat in the ring. I don't care. But yeah, so we'll see how they. Okay, I see a lot of comments, child. Let's see what they said. Oh yeah, I read that already. Black version of Caitlyn Jenner. Yes, she is. Oh, you know what? That is spot on. Monroe she is basically the Black Caitlyn. She definitely is. And how you doing? Bob the Builder bit. Yeah, she do give me Bob the Builder in a wig. Why was Funky answering calls with her like a Tasha K was cleaning off? Because they, and that's what I said too. And this is the exact point that I made is that a lot of times people within our community is like, oh, they not talking about me. And that's the shit that pissed me off. It's like with me, call me crazy, but when it come down to it, you fuck with one of us, you fuck with all of us. Like I stand in solidarity, not just with myself, but with my gays, my lesbians, my trans, my what was it? The bisexuals, the non-binaries, any aspect of the elemental P community. I try to stand in solidarity with everybody, and I got your back from the front and the back. I don't just go and be like, well, they not talking about me over there, so you could just go and discriminate, because they ain't no different than when black people do that shit to the gays, which we've been seeing, and I've been talking about when it comes to what was it? The Boosie situation. Oh, he not talking about women and being misogynistic. He talking about them gays over there. So yeah, we gonna ride that because they talking about them. But then if they talk about you, I mean them over there, you don't think he gonna come back and talk about you? So we do need to stand in solidarity with someone. I'm not rocking with no homophobe. I'm not rocking with no transphobe. I'm not gonna be friends with somebody who has shown me time and time and time again with everybody they've been acquainted with how they treat them. And I don't understand why, as like Roro said, why Funky would associate himself with somebody who was from. And I was seeing this for the longest. I knew this. The writing was on the wall, but I knew it was only a matter of time before Funky was gonna get the smoke too. And look, it came yesterday or the day before. I don't know when the phone call happened, but it came in in the last 48, 72 hours. And he a whole fool for thinking that he was exempt from Trashy K being trashy. Felix said that's how a lot of people are in general nowadays. Exactly. And well, that wasn't on the docket for today about the whole Joe Coy situation, but I do find it irritating that when it comes to comedy, that comedians can't even tell jokes anymore because Hollywood is, got this big wood stick up their ass and they act like that they're exempt from being joked about or whatever the case is. So it's annoying. But I did watch that episode of The View how Whoopi Goldberg did come to the defense of Joe Coy. Joe Coy is actually pretty funny. It just that he, based off of him doing, look, it's a hard job to do that type of job where you have to host a bunch of damn celebrities. Like if I had my own Netflix special, whatever the case, you could be as ruthless, as crazy as you want, even though people still gonna complain. You see what they've been doing with Dave Chappelle. Even though I'm tired of him always going back to the same material when it comes to just trying to get some attention. But for the most part, it's like, what? I just feel like that all comedians need to just boycott doing award shows, because if I can't be funny, if I can't poke fun, if y'all can't take a joke as much as y'all like taking dicks behind the scenes, the men and the women, then we don't need to be having comedians and stuff on these shows, because it's like y'all just too damn sensitive, or y'all thinking that it's not that serious. Not like I said many a times, it's not like y'all curing cancer. It's not like you found a new planet for the humans to occupy once they destroyed the rest of Earth with all this goddamn global warming and stuff, and all that other mess. So it's not like y'all doing that. Y'all get paid to pretend to be somebody y'all other than yourself for a living and make money doing it. So get off my line. Okay, I can't be friends. Yeah, I can't be friends with anybody who, I'm not saying that we have to align ourselves. Like you have to always agree with everything I say. But if you're going to deliberately go out of your way to say things that are rooted in bigotry, I can't be friends with you. And he said he only had a 10 days notice. Yeah, because they was trying to find somebody and everybody else said no. None of the comedians said yes. Joe Coy's been around for a long time, but he's not like a big mainstream comedian. He's not getting all this attention like Matt Rife. Why didn't they hire him? Because he's like this big online celebrity. I can't scroll through my damn Facebook without a Matt Rife being mentioned. So when it comes to that, or I don't know, they just couldn't. They went down a list of people they were trying to get to host this award show, and nobody wanted to do it. So they went to Joe Coy. He said yes, and because I guess he's up for a challenge. And look, it's an opportunity for a person of color, a Filipino comedian, to get the opportunity, because there ain't a lot of Asians on TV. I mean, I was watching Andrew Koji over there on Warrior, but they didn't cancel that show after 3 damn seasons, and I was living for that. But there's not a lot of, and then I'm watching the new Michelle Yeoh series on Netflix, which is actually pretty good. So there's not a lot of Asian representation. So you're going to take whatever you can, wherever you can. and people are getting all mad about it, especially the Swifties. Y'all need to calm down. Yeah, take a piece of her damn song and y'all need to calm down because y'all get on my damn nerves too. And Taylor Swift is all upset. We gonna troll somebody because he made a little stupid joke and she didn't find it funny. You picking on women. Y'all was getting on my nerves with that too. Oh, y'all picking on women. Oh, they making jokes about women. Everybody gets a smoke. You're not and this is the issue that I have with people who are from marginalized communities, women, people of color, gays, whatever. Y'all are not exempt from being made fun of or a joke. Like, why does everybody think, oh, because somebody says something, oh, but you try to weaponize your gender, your sexual orientation, or the color of your skin because, oh, they're making fun of this. But no, I make fun of everybody. I'm an equal, not me, but I'm just saying as a comedian, I'm an equal opportunity offender. I mean, I kind of do. I am an equal opportunity offender on here too. But for the most part, it's like when people make jokes, that's what it is. Like, it's not like the world's coming to an end because somebody made a joke about Taylor Swift always getting screen time. I mean, I've been saying that shit for years. We could have, like I said, the other show, they should have did a damn drinking game every time Taylor Swift's face was shown on the MTV VMAs this past year. They always, every time she's on that show, stay pan on her. Every year. I've been watching, and that's always been the running joke. So look, if J-Lo can make jokes about her many marriages and the fact that she can't stay single for 5 minutes in her own music video, then y'all should be able to take a joke too, is all I'm saying. And like I said, it's like, yeah, he only had like Felix said, it was 10 days. So, and then Miss John Mitchell, says Trashy K is a straight up poison. Everything she touches, she ruins. She is. And then people feel like because they align themselves with her, that's a good thing. And it's like, no, she is poison. She is toxic. And, if people ain't going to learn that by now, then they'll never learn it. It's like, I don't fuck with people like that because nothing ever good comes out of people like her. But okay, so let's move on and talk about Child now. And another thing with him, Funky. If you're not gonna name names about stuff, especially what's going on behind the scenes with Foxhole, then stop talking. And that's the same thing I'm gonna say about Miss Kelly Price with this whole story that came out with her. So the other day, what was it? Oh, so this is how I found the whole. Okay, so I had found out this story because I happened to be watching, I think it was T.S. Madison's Maddie in the Morning, which came on late at night. That was the same day that Funky Dineva went live at 8 o'clock and this whole drama started unfolding. So this is how I heard about this story. So I had to do the research and started screenshotting all the parts of the receipts and things. And, so I don't know. I think 2024 is about to be the year of people just spilling all types of stuff, the truth coming out, clarity, all that stuff. This is the age of Aquarius. What song? Or is it the Dawn of Aquarius? Where's that from? I know it's in a musical. Wasn't that musical with Robin De Jesus, and they went to theater camp or something or another that came out back in the day? I do remember hearing that song in a musical or something. But anyway, so Cat Williams out here spilling tea. Everybody out here just going scorched earth and just spilling all the tea and don't give a damn who feelings they hurt. Because now Kelly Price, who was a well-known R&B gospel singer, and she used to sing backup for Mariah Carey back in the day too. Basically, the Stu shaded her Sunday best judges. Now, it all started when Kelly went off on Meta for removing a comment she made on her page against someone in the comments she felt was harassing her. She criticized Meta's hypocritical rules and then suggested that the platform should also ban, shadow ban, and impose consequences against people who leave nasty, threatening comments on her page. She said, "You took down my response that I made to someone who came on my page harassing me. Your rules are BS. If you are going to sanction, block, or shadow ban artists, public figures, and entertainers, you should do the same for people who threaten, harass, and speak disgusting, inhumane language to them and their pages using their platform." And she went on and on and on about stuff about the FCC and the government and talking about that, they need to make the rules better and all the other stuff. I just think what it is the fact that it's algorithms. It's a bunch of algorithms that's going on that sit and flag when people say certain things, put certain words up. It's like I posted a video on Facebook the other day and they talk about, oh, it's inciting violence, so they removed it, or they blocked or they did something. And it was basically a video of, I don't know if they were drag queens, trans women, or biological women. And they was fighting a dude in Jackson Heights, Queens, in the gay neighborhood, by the gay bar, and they stabbed the dude in the video. Then there was another picture I posted, which was a screenshot from Scream 4 that was not used in the movie, where, oh my God, I think it was Britt Marling, I think is her name. She was in the opening kill. They had her hanging from the damn fan. I don't know how that's a strong ass fan to keep her hanging up there during the shot. And it was a shot with, I think it was Dewey and it was, oh my God, Anthony Anderson in the shot. They blocked that talking about this violence and stuff. I'm like, okay, y'all doing too much with these algorithms and certain things. Or if it's like when people come on and they harass you on social media, or they'll say something ignorant and bigoted in the comments, I'm seeing that whole thing just sitting there, no problem. But the minute I type something up to clap back, and people, this is why I don't clap back no more. I don't say no. I just say it for the show, because y'all they be trying to find reasons to shadow ban. They be trying to find reasons to block you. They try to put you in jail, social media prison over, stuff that you post or certain things that you say on social media, and that's just been getting on my damn nerves. So it's like, now I don't respond. Or they'll put that little thing that's running across as you when you hit send, and it's about, be mindful, you have to say things that don't go against community standards and all that crap. So it's like, Meta, y'all be getting on my damn nerves with a lot of y'all stupid rules and a lot of this dumb stuff that's going on. So I do agree with her on that. But then for some reason, when somebody went and said, there was, oh wait, what was the thing? Oh, so somebody put, well, there was a couple of people that commented. One person said, more power to you, Kelly. These boys out here just get you, I guess they meant don't let these boys get you out of character and all the other stuff. And they said that one person said, I was going to say, is this Sunday best judge gospel singing Kelly Price? Ooh, Lord deliver. And then, because people had a problem with, apparently they think that, oh, because you Christian or you supposed to be supposed to have this certain image about yourself and you in the church. And this is what I don't like about religion or people that's in that whole upper echelon church type situation. A lot of y'all act like these people are literally like Jesus, like they walk on water, they could do no wrong, they're not supposed to curse, you're supposed to have the prayer cloth over your skirt if it's too short, you're supposed to act demure. But the main thing is, a lot of these people that be in the church is like Kim Burrell. They put themselves in this position. They're so highfalutin and high class, but behind the scenes, they the nastiest, meanest, hypocritical, judgmental fucking people I've ever encountered. So this is why I kind of give the side to a lot of these upper echelon church folk. And I don't like people like that, especially the ones that make those type of comments. So then Kelly went in and said, Lord deliver us from, I don't know where this came from, but then she all of a sudden went, Lord, deliver us from pastor hoes and pedophiles. Deliver us from self-righteous congregants who send their money to lies and pimps in plain sight. Then come deliver me. The nerve you have. I was the only artist/judge on Sunday Best that wasn't fucking someone else's spouse. I'm reading what she said. Fucking someone else's spouse, fornicating, or messing with kids and boys, but you have smoke for me? FOH, you ignorant church-going brain-dead asshole. I'm the child of a preacher 3+ generations, and I have no desire to be named among the gospel community. Wonder why? You don't, because you already know what it is and are content to be a part of the cover-up that has been happening for generations. My advice, get off my page now or prepare to have me tell you a new one every time you are stupid enough to come to my page, which is self-righteous pity. So she went in and let half, but then, child, I don't know what happened, but I did get this clip from Larry Reed over on TikTok where she went and said some video stuff. So I'm gonna pull that up. Give me a second. Where is it? I don't know why my the videos and stuff is not popping up for what I need to be pop. It's like I gotta play around with it all of a sudden for the damn video to pop up. So yeah, let's get to that.
I love you. I appreciate you. I thank you for your support. I'm not even about calling out names. People can assume what they want to assume. Wasn't but for an artist on the show that I was a judge on. I was on a show with Kirk Franklin, Erica Campbell, Jonathan McReynolds, and there was me. My husband was with me at work every day. And I'm going to leave that right there. God bless y'all. And good night.
All right, good night. And here's what I got to say on that, just to wrap this whole story up. I feel like, Kelly, I understand what you're saying. Like, you want to call out hypocrites and all that other stuff when it comes to the church, and the fact that you talking about delivering me because I just said a couple of cuss words and I was pissed off over what they doing to me over on social media. But y'all look the other way when the pastors be up in here cheating on their wives and having sex with the boys, members of the choir, or spewing hatred against homosexuality, but they up in here performing homosexual acts behind the scenes that a lot of y'all know, but y'all look the other way because y'all want to be up on the whole pulpit and you want to be in the pastor's circle and all that other mess. So clean up the mess in your own house before you try to come for Kelly. So I totally get what she's saying, but I'm gonna say this to wrap this up, sis. If you're not going to name names, if you're not going to let us know if any of the people that was on that show, and there was a lot of people that was on that show, who was on there? Mary, Erica, and Tina, and then both their husbands cheat. You had BB and CeCe Winans, Donnie McClurkin, Queen behind, Yolanda Adams, Kim Burrell, Evil behind, Jonathan McReynolds, and Kiera Shear. So y'all had all them on that show for the many seasons that it lasted. I don't know how many seasons. I think it was like 9 or 10 seasons. But the show lasted from 2009 to 2020 before they canceled over on BET. So if you're not going to come out here and name names and spill the tea and let us know, because I said this is the year, the age of Aquarius. This is the year that everybody is like, we ain't holding back no more. We gonna come out here. We gonna what is the situation? If we naming names, that's why that video his video with Shannon Sharp did 30 million, because he was out here guns blazing. He ain't just popped somebody off in the head. He emptied the entire clip and nobody was spared. So that's why people was living for, him over there. Now, if y'all gonna come out here and say something, y'all can't be sidestepping and pussy popping and all that other mess. Y'all need to come out and say names. So if you're gonna say that there was stuff going on behind the scenes at Sunday Best, I want to know who you're talking about. So that's all I gotta say on that. So let's get to some of these topics. Not topics. Let's get to some of these comments. So Felix says that's why Ricky Gervais said no, people are too sensitive. Yeah, and on top of that, it's funny because Ricky Gervais said no, but he actually won a Golden Globe, for his comedy special. He beat out Chris Rock. And I have to agree that Chris Rock's comedy special wasn't really that funny to me, especially the one that he recently just did for Netflix. I watched it, I chuckled maybe like 3 or 4 times, but it wasn't, in my opinion, it wasn't a good special. Ms. John Mitchell said, I was glad to see Funky blow up the internet last night with over 14K views compared to TJR's 3K. And you want to know something? I wrote in the article since when I wrote the article, Monday's show, how much more in the ratings, damn, I can't even talk. It's like how he did in the ratings. What is going on? It's like how he did in the ratings versus TGI's ratings. But here's the thing, TGI never really had, their ratings was never as big. Like they was always, whenever I would watch the show, bitching and moaning and complaining about how many people they wanted to come in the chat and say, if you this or this or this, hit the like button, and there's this many people watching, but we don't have this many people liking the thing, like it, doing something. Like they were always trying to get people to like the damn thing. And look, this is why I tell people that. Speaking of which, if y'all watching, hit the damn like button. It don't cost you nothing. It's free to just hit the like button. So, I just want to say that I'm sitting there talking about everybody else's like my shit too. Shit. So, you can't post what a gay guy finds sexually stimulating or Gaza. Sure. Well, I guess I'm a rare breed because I talk about both. So if y'all follow me on social media, I post a lot of stuff about free Palestine and pro-Palestine stuff, and it's pissed a lot of people off. It's lost me a lot of friends. But I have to say this, if you can't stand in solidarity with seeing genocide and ethnic cleansing happening in real time, then we wasn't friends to begin with. I don't sit and sidestep with nobody that's going to be for the killing of a mass group of people only because they were sick and tired of being treated like shit and enslaved by the Jews. Don't even get me started about that underground tunnel they just found over in Brooklyn. That's been going on with the Hasidic Jews that was sitting there digging a little tunnel, and they said it was some sex trafficking and alleged sex trafficking and organ transplants happening down there. So, and they called this man on Twitter, said that they was calling him crazy because he said that I don't even have a basement in my house, but I'm hearing people downstairs praying. under my ground, under my floor. And he's like, well, wait a minute, I don't even have a basement. Where is this noise coming from? And people called him crazy. Come to find out the NYPD discovered a damn tunnel in Brooklyn that was down there. They tried to say it recently was built. Child, I heard the shit was down there since 2009. They just now addressing it because I guess it got too big for them to cover it up. And don't even get me started on how there's certain like Jewish neighborhoods who act like that and it's not just them. It's a lot of communities that I've noticed when they come from other countries and they come to America, especially in New York, how they will literally turn neighborhoods into their former home. How you got Little Italy, you got Chinatown, you got all these other things, but they'll sit and turn their whole little areas into what it was back home, and it becomes segregated. Where it's like they feel the rules don't apply to them. It's like, well, wait a minute, you're in the United States of America. So you can't just out here be making your own rules when you got to follow the rules of how it is in New York. So there's that, and Sailor Mermaid is in the building saying, hey. All right, so let's get to the rest of the show, because I do love the fact when y'all chat in the comments, because it also gives me time to bring up the other stuff that I'm doing with, the show and stuff. So yeah, let's get into this Oprah mess. So, Oprah's been out here doing, she's supposed to have been promoting this new movie, The Color Purple, which she has been doing, but it seemed like she's been spending a lot more time trying to play the clean up woman when it comes to her reputation. So on Sunday, the 69-year-old detailed the extent of her role as a producer on the Color Purple musical film amid claims that Taraji P. Henson, said that talent sometimes have to fight for proper compensation and benefits. And Oprah seemed like she was just getting tired and sick and tired. I shouldn't say just tired. She's sick and tired of Taraji out here blowing up the spot and spilling all the tea that's going on behind the scenes. But I know a lot of people feel like, well, Oprah as a producer, like, you've been in this game for what, over 40 years? Has it been 40 years? Because I know it's like, well, no, I think 40 years from us knowing Oprah and her blowing up from The Color Purple and stuff. I think, wouldn't it be next year, 2025 will make 40 years that Oprah's been in, like, very, like, famous and big and stuff? Because, like, I think 1985 was like the year of The Color Purple, and then we didn't really know the Oprah Winfrey Show wasn't that big or a thing yet. I think it was like on people's radar, but it didn't blow up until I think after The Color Purple and stuff, and she was still doing her little acting thing. So I think next year makes 40 years that Oprah's been in the business. So they feel like she's been around for a long time. Steven Spielberg, who's also a producer, has been around for a long time. They should know better on what people need in regards to the stuff. And Whoopi, because she was in The Color Purple too, but not the new one. Oprah said that she did speak to the head of Warner Brothers about the whole thing about the car situation. And he was like, well, if I have to get one for her, then I have to get one for everybody. And she's like, well, get one for everybody then. Or I'll even put up the money myself. But as a producer, it's like, you've been on enough movie sets to know, like, you should be on top of shit when it comes to stuff. But it's like, but then again, I guess it depends on what your role is as a producer on the set of these films. But she said, I would like to say about this whole Taraji thing, people are saying that I was not supporting Taraji. Taraji will tell you herself that I've been the greatest champion of this film. Champion not only behind the scenes projection, but also everything that everybody needed. So whenever I heard that there was something that everyone needed, I'm not in charge of the budget because that's Warner Brothers. That's the way the studio system works. Now, throughout the press run, there's been a lot of talk about stuff that's been going on behind the scenes. They didn't have individual dressing rooms. They didn't have like good food and stuff. But look, I've been on many sets. I will tell you this, for the years I've been doing extra work and acting and all this other stuff, I've been on many sets where, I be on set waiting long hours, shooting long hours. They don't have the food be cold. They don't even give you proper food. I remember one time they tried to give us pizza when I worked on a Priceline.com commercial, and the actors that I was working with got on the phone with SAG and was, oh, hell no. First of all, I don't be paying all these dudes for y'all to be giving me some cold ass, 99-cent pizza in a goddamn box. Like, we wasn't doing that. First of all, we was on set with William Shatner and a whole bunch of other people. Why am I eating pizza, sir? So I do get that and all the other stuff. So So I'm definitely with them. And then people get talking about, and I guess I didn't even know this part, but they said that Fantasia was sitting up in there co-signing about the whole car thing. So, I like to drive myself to work. I don't need, I said, sis, first of all, okay, this is your first movie. This is not like this is your regular gig. This is not allowed. As an actor, you are not supposed to be driving yourself to and from gigs. Now, I know there's some people that just hop on a train and do whatever the case. Maybe it's different in New York, whatever, but if you're on set in Georgia or whatever the case is, and you're doing like a high profile movie, y'all can't be just having people driving around themselves. Because what if I end up in an accident and I die? Like, you have insurance on these people. So you can't have them driving themselves at 6 in the morning, or if you got a 6 a.m. call time and I got to be out of the house at 4:30 a.m. and I'm supposed to be driving myself to a set. Are you out of your damn mind? Like, no, y'all supposed to have all of that situated. And with Warner Brothers being a big damn studio, see, y'all can overplay y'all hand and put all that money behind some stupid ass movie like a Aquaman with all them horrible ass special effects and a tied and true script, but you're not gonna put no money behind supporting a film like The Color Purple. But y'all always try to do that. They always try to underhand black people and black cinema and all that other stuff. So, but I also think at this time, can we get some movies that ain't rooted in black trauma? Because I'm tired of that too. I'm tired of seeing movies where it's always like we seeing people either slaves, women getting beat, all this other stuff. Like, I want to see some. Can we get some black sci-fi, some Afro, what they call it, some Afrofuturism, like some stuff like that. You know, we like other things too, or maybe a black horror movie. Now, I did like The Blackening. I did love that movie. That was like one of my favorite movies of last year. It had me cackling, and I did like a lot of the stuff that was going on in that film. But we need more of that stuff. Same with the gays too. Like, we need some gay horror. We need more queer horror films and stuff as well. I do have a friend that did do one, which is the meme, if y'all saw that, of the video of the boy with the blood coming out of his butt, and it was somehow that he wasn't lying when he said it was his first time. If y'all been on my Facebook, you know the meme that I posted. But anyway, so yeah, she said that, and then look, some people was like, Oprah is full of ish because look, this is the thing that I meant to bring up the last time we did the show. Oh, wait, that's not what I wanted to bring up. Was the last time we did the show when I told you Raquel Red, when I saw on her show that she brought up the whole thing about Oprah and the whole Taraji situation. And what was it? The TikTok, what was it? Oh, yeah, the TikTok video where they show like the body language where they was on the Empire State Building.
Child, I just want to know, what did Oprah do to Taraji? Like, check this out. Look how she walk up, right? They all walking up. Look at it. Okay, look. They don't greet each other. Taraji looking over here in space, just so she don't have to make eye contact with Oprah. Oprah doesn't turn to the side and say anything to her. Okay, I can't remember her name. I think her name is Danielle. This other actress, I don't know. I'm not gonna lie on her, but I love her. Here comes Fantasia. And look, she right there by Taraji, right? And look what she do. Scoot them down and get at the end. Now, where y'all know Oprah to want to miss up on being in the middle in a photo?
Okay.
Where you know her to not want to be in the middle of a photo, y'all?
Exactly. So Oprah out here talking about, well, and then there was a whole, and I think why she addressed it finally, because she brought up this video that I saw was doing huge numbers on YouTube that I think was recommended to me. And it was a guy that was a whole body language expert and broke everything down with the whole situation. And she went and brought that up in the whole thing with Gail. And of course, anytime that she got her sister up there to co-sign or whatever's got to go down, you know, Oprah gonna give it, you know, and I'm like, Gail, nobody asked you. Why you always got to be asserting yourself in this situation? Or maybe what it was, she was doing her little situation where she was, you know, questioning the girls and stuff on the red carpet. But it was just like, Gail, you already had your moment where you interviewed Taraji and Danielle and the director and all this other stuff. And that was where Taraji got, you know, people was coming at her over the stuff that she said. And yeah, so when she said what she said with that, and then of course that went viral, and then this whole thing came out. And I think the reason why Oprah's name is in this whole situation and why people bring us up, why am I, you know, the Nene leaks, why am I in it? You know, the reason why you in it is because you're the biggest name on the marquee. You got Oprah Winfrey Presents. When you put it out there that your name is on the marquee, that you get to be above The Color Purple, when Quiet as It's Kept, Whoopi Goldberg was the one that was the star of the movie. You were Sophia. And you did your thing in the movie, but because you're a billionaire and you have way more cachet in Hollywood, and you have a lot more, your money is way longer than Whoopi's, I'm sure, because you're a billionaire. And Whoopi got her coin. Whoopi does well for where she's at in her life, and she's doing well over there on The View. She makes a good amount of money a year doing that and her little side projects. But the reason why people are going in on Oprah more is because of the amount of money that she, because of the amount of what her name brings. Her name brings a lot of clout. So people are assuming that because Oprah is who she is, that things are not going to be as messy on set, that things are going to get done. That you should be aware of everything that's going on. So everybody's had to call Oprah, excuse me, to make sure that all the I's is dotted and the T's is crossed and things is getting done. So there's that. I do see we have some questions, but hold on. I was like, oh, I need some water. Okay. So good luck to y'all, but I'll be chill. I see that comment. The princess are pissing off the far right Lil Nas X. I do have that topic. That is the last story of the night. So we're gonna get to that soon. And then you call Oprah a pick me. Chill. I mean, quiet as his cat. She just might be. So, okay, so now let's move on to our next topic and talk about Miss Vivica, who, speaking of the color purple, the people's mad at her because they felt like she didn't stand in solidarity with what Taraji's been out here saying regarding pay disparity throughout Hollywood, not just the color purple. It's just talking about that how she's been treated throughout her career. And for someone who has been acting and making a living in this space for over 2 decades to still be treated like she's a starter actor, like she's just starting out, like she's on the level of like I would say who the latest actor to come out. I was like she on a level of I would have been like the people in that oh my God, what is the name of the, I just forgot the name of the damn movie. The Barry Keoghan. Like, is she on a level of them? Like, we just heard of them yesterday. Even so, so basically, Vivica Fox was on she was signing something somewhere, and TMZ came up to her and asked her the following question, and I want y'all to hear it because I got that clip too, and people are mad over her response. So let's get to that. And then we'll come back as a class and talk.
So we want to know, do you feel like now is the perfect time to have the conversation that Taraji kind of continued over Monique? You're an actress, you've been out there. Is this the perfect time to kind of talk about that in the right platform?
Darling, to each his own. Do you know what I mean? I'm very happy, very blessed. And to each his own. I didn't have that experience, so, but to get your piece out is important. I totally understand that. And I love my girls for looking out for each other. But I'm good.
Well, she said she good. So then, a lot of people took to social media and they did not like the fact that she said what she said, which I don't think was that bad, in my opinion. I do feel like, you know what? She said, I'm good over here, to each his own. You're like, I get it. Like, if you need to get your money, but I've never had that experience. And I have to say that for the most part, we are not a monolith. We always talk about that on the show, is the fact that not all Black people have the same experience. That Vivica is Vivica and Taraji is Taraji. Now, I think the point of what was, I guess people kind of took the wrong way, was like the faith, like when she did kind of like that immediately, the weird faces that, people always do when they're trying to hit on a point or whatever. So I think maybe that probably rubbed people the wrong way. And I also think that, they felt that maybe she should have left out the part where she said, what did she say? Oh, when they felt like she needed to leave out the part where she was just like, well, that's not really been my experience, but maybe they should have left that because they feel like, what, in this day and age, women need to stand, particularly Black women, and the way they're treated in Hollywood, should stand in solidarity. And she didn't do that, but she said what she said, and there's nothing we can't take away from that, I guess. But some people basically said one person said she didn't have that experience because she has not acted on the level Taraji has. She has not reached the level Taraji has reached. And I think that was the comment that Gabrielle Union got caught out here liking. So people was like, oh, so people was feeling like Gabrielle Union was throwing, shooting shots over there. I don't know if they've ever acted together. Oh wait, so the thing she liked, because I got it here. So it basically said that I think it was on the Neighborhood Talk. where she actually liked it. And I'm gonna pull that up for y'all so y'all can see it. You know, I got receipts today. Yeah, so this was the comment that she actually liked, and that was over here. I saw from the neighborhood talk. And it says she hasn't experienced Taraji's success either. And then that's the post that she actually liked. But, you know, people out here defending her about she's been in blockbusters and stuff. Like, yeah, she's been in blockbusters. She was in 2 blockbusters, right? She was in Independence Day and Kill Bill, 2 movies that have done really well, but she had like supporting roles. She played a stripper. Not that I'm diminishing strippers. You know, I love the people that work in the strip clubs and the sex workers. So that's not no shade to them. But she played the stripper girlfriend of Will Smith in Independence Day. Then she came back and did the second one. I was like, girl, you shouldn't have did that. But I guess a check is a check. And that's what it is. And then she was in Kill Bill, which, you know, I do love that movie, and I know her line, you know, Vanita Green, aka Copperhead, and Black Mamba. When they two had a little scene in the fight and throughout the kitchen, the living room, all this stuff, the first floor of the house. Well, I guess it was only one floor in the house, but when they had a little fight, I know every piece of dialogue that exchanged between them. So that's like my favorite movie. I do love the Kill Bill films, and yes, I do like Vivica, but I do feel like maybe, I guess, in a way, she should have stood in solidarity with her girls instead of just kind of being like, she out here for self. So yeah, Vivica out here doing her thing. She does make her money. But maybe also, I think people are upset about is the fact that they said, well, maybe Taraji should have been a little bit better when it comes to her business. That she could have worked a little, you know, maybe she should have I hate saying stand on business because everybody be saying it now, but maybe she should have kind of put herself in that position, like, you know, Vivica, stay on her stuff. Vivica out here not only just acting, but she also is doing Lifetime movies, which I believe she's not only acting in them, but she's producing these films as well. I seen Garcelle does the same thing over on The Real Housewives of Bel-Air. She produced and starred in a Lifetime movie. They had that whole scene play out this season. So Vivica's doing the same thing. I think she also does Hallmark stuff. And also she's selling wigs. And so she's selling these other things. So you got to have multiple sources of income. Look at Keke Palmer. You know, she was another one that complained and said something in regards to the situation and was like, you know, I can't just be in a movie and act. I got to do other things. She just won an Emmy for being in, you know, hosting Password. So you have to have multiple sources of income in order to have some kind of anything coming in, because Hollywood, child, if you only expecting to just do one little thing, you're not going to be able to pay your bills and all those, because it's not just sitting up in here paying rent and car notes and all this other stuff. You got to pay your team too. So, you know, it takes a village to put a lot of these celebrities together. So I totally get it. And so while I don't feel like it was as bad as I don't feel like what she said was as bad, some people took it that way. So it is what it is. And shout out to you. Well, I see we do have a comment. Vivica also produces, which is probably what helps her profit. Taraji is mainly focused on being talent. And that's what I was just literally saying. I feel like at this day and age, especially in Hollywood, and I feel like many people, particularly, we just talked about her earlier in the show, Jennifer Lopez. You have to literally have multiple streams of income. And that's why you don't hear her ass complaining, because she got 59,000 jobs and she is A-list because she sings, dances, acts, produces, and she's producing a lot more. Like with her Neo Rican production, she's been producing a whole lot. She produces upcoming album, which is being distributed through BMG. I don't even think she has a label. She's doing it independently, but it's being distributed through BMG. Like Kylie Minogue, and I also believe Lenny Kravitz is doing the same thing. So this is what a lot of the A-listers are doing now. They're not even signing to labels anymore, because the labels out here robbing everybody blind. They've been doing that for eons, but now they just doing distribution deals and then just staying independent, which I think is smart. They have their little audience. They don't need to go on a label. So that's what needs to happen, is that you have to have multiple streams of income coming in. And I feel like when y'all out here on the sidelines, some of y'all complaining, saying that you shouldn't have this many people. Oh, why y'all doing so much? You need to focus on one thing. That's not the world in which we live, especially with everything being so damn high now. With all these, you know, the rent is too damn high, the food prices is too damn high. Everything is so damn expensive now. It's hard to like maintain a living off of one source of income. So that I do not agree with. So, okay, so let's move on and talk about this mess. Because Jonathan Majors, look, I already said what I said in the last episode about the whole Jonathan Majors interview that he did with ABC. And I said that was a mistake on his part. I really don't feel like it's going to help his case. I know he's about to be sentenced either to probation or a year in prison when he goes before the judge in February. I don't know. I hope he doesn't go to jail. I don't feel like he needs to go to. Look, we don't need to have every black man with a goddamn record. We really don't. Because I see the statistics of how y'all like to do when it comes to the judicial system. But like I said about him, I feel like he's just probably been raised away or been surrounded by people where he feels, because he is a black man in America, that he is exempt from what them people, oh, I'm not like them hood boogers. But it's like, that's not how the judicial system looks at you. The judicial system has never been equal to wanting to uplift and help people of color in this country. So for him to sit up in here and think that him getting with that white woman, that he wasn't going to get, Larry, what is it? Emmett Tilled via his career, whatever the case is. I'm not saying that he got killed, but they killed his career damn near, and all the other stuff that's come with it. I can't see him bouncing back from this. Maybe, I guess, with Hollywood, the mainstream stuff, I don't know if people are going to want to mess with him. I feel like he's probably just going to be stuck doing independent films, which I guess is fine, because that's kind of like what his career was anyway. So he got him under fire because not only once, but twice, he kept twice in the episode, but numerous times, like we heard the recordings that were released, that he kept trying to compare this Grace Byers chick to Coretta Scott King. You need to be more like Coretta. You need to be more like Michelle Obama, which basically people felt like, and as well as Bernice, felt like he reduced Coretta to nothing more than just some prop that was just sitting around holding Martin Luther King down, and that's all she did. When it's like, Coretta was doing way more. Like, if you're supposed to be this person who's obsessed with history and always played in films that had to do with like the past or historical type of films, because that's what a lot of Jonathan Majors comes from. When he was in Lovecraft Country and all that was always based in like some period in time before I was even born. So you would think that as an actor, he would kind of be up on that stuff, but I didn't understand the comparison, especially when it came to a white woman. How you comparing a white woman to two black women? That was the weird part for me, but he said it was an analogy. But guess what? I guess at times we can't expect actors to be personalities. They only smart based off of how smart you make them, based off the script that whoever brilliant wrote it. That make them sound smart. But in real life, they're a damn ding-ding, or dumb as a box of rocks, as I like to say. So, following an exclusive GMA chat on Monday, King, as in Bernice King, who is 60, posted an archival image of her mother on X along with words. I should pull that up, actually, so that way y'all can see it. Because, we love bringing receipts on this show. So that way y'all could be able to, read on what was said. So, okay, so we got it there. We'll just leave it like that. So basically, this was what was said. So, and she also linked her 2017 piece for Huffington Post, where she detailed her mother's powerful legacy in civil rights activism, music, writing, and motherhood. And this is what she said. She said, my mother wasn't a prop. She was a peace advocate before she met my father and was instrumental in him speaking out against the Vietnam War. Please understand, my mama was a force. And then basically put a link to the Huffington Post article, but she wrote about her mother's accomplishments and all of the stuff. Look, there was a lot of people that held Martin Luther King down. Let's also not forget Bayard Rustin, an openly gay black man who helped with the whole civil rights movement, March on Washington, all that other stuff. It's in the damn movie Rustin. If y'all have not seen it on Netflix, definitely check that out. That's another historical moment. So it wasn't just women being advocates and doing stuff. The gays was out here doing what they needed to do too. And I feel like if Jonathan Majors is going to compare people to people, maybe he should have said you should be more like Melania Trump. Maybe that's what he should have compared his women to. Somebody who's more or less a prop to they powerful man, or whatever the case is. They powerful, arrogant man, because that's exactly what Jonathan Majors was giving in the courtroom. Remember when they said that he was in the courtroom reading the Bible while they were while the people were testifying and all this stuff. So I feel like there was a lot of arrogance in this whole case, and he thought because he was famous and all this other stuff that he was probably going to get away with it, that they weren't going to throw him in jail. They looked at it as, here go a black man beating on a white girl, which has always been kind of the narrative of Black people are scary and angry and stuff. That's why I was getting irritated with that clip that I posted on Real Housewives in Beverly Hills on TikTok, where people were commenting and stuff about Garcelle calling out Dorit for her microaggressions or certain words that you use. Like when it comes to Black women, you cannot use the words angry, you cannot use the words aggressive, because those are fighting words. Those are words that are used to always describe people of color, especially Black people, because they're always perceived as, if you raise your voice slightly, if you say something or if you clap back at somebody, you're angry, you're mad, you're going to pop off, you're going to do something violent. And that's the whole situation. They don't understand. Like, well, how come when I say this to other people, they don't get upset? Because those are white people you're talking to. They look at things differently than when people of color, other people from different nationalities and situations speak up on this. And when people do not understand this, after I've explained it, and I saw people in the comments that were saying that, oh, well, I'm Team Dorit because they feel like she's been saying all this other stuff and she's always using this as a storyline. It's like, no, it's not using it. So I'm addressing certain things. There's so many other things that's going on with Garcelle, even though I know it's not about her, but I'm just equating this with this whole thing. It's like, you have to remember, if you're going to occupy spaces as a minority Black person, a sole Black person, and you're in a room full of white people, you have to move differently than how other people are, and vice versa. So people need to understand that. So that was kind of irritating when I posted that last topic that we did, when I posted that clip of last week's episode of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills on my TikTok, and how there was a lot of people. It wasn't just white folks. It was a lot of light-skinned people up in there too. Spanish people, Latinos, that were commenting like, "Oh, Garcelle's problematic," or she's picking on Dorit. I'm like, what? Get out my line with that. So I feel like a little colorism be playing in that too. Like, people need to have a little empathy. But anyway, so I do agree with Bernice for, being all upset with somebody making that about their mother. But yeah, if you want to use a perfect comparison, like I said, Jonathan Majors, you could have used Melania Trump, because Melania will stand by her man regardless of what he did to her, cheating and all. And we see she's unhappy with that man. She don't like who she married to, but she keep putting up with his mess. And that's what you want. Just say that you want a trophy. You want a girl to stand by your side and look pretty while you out here trying to pretend like you the next second coming of, Raheem. I was gonna say Raheem Shabazz, not the porn star child. Like all these famous civil rights leaders and all this other stuff. So if that's what you want to do with your career, then you should be able to do that. But it's funny how it's like there's a lot of Black men that come out and they always say, I'm doing great things and I'm trying to be the next this. Because didn't Jussie Smollett say the same damn thing before, he came out with the whole noose and bleach and all that other mess, while he was trying to come out and be the gay Tupac. And now we got this one trying to be the next big civil rights leader, or trying to present himself as like this big demure Black man that's trying to uplift his people. Like, I believe, damn, I was like, what was the, I believe the actor, who was the one that played, the actor in Get Out? I believe him as the next coming of a civil rights leader before I believe with Jonathan Majors. I mean, I did like him in some of the stuff he did, but some of the things that he's been saying and doing and stuff has kind of turned me off. So there's that. But I have to say this too. Now, he went and compared Megan Good to Coretta too, twice, which was kind of cringe. And I'm sitting like, girl, I don't know what you're gaining from this. I don't know if this is some sort of like a Bad Bunny and Kendall Jenner situation, or Timothy Chalamet and Kylie Jenner situation, where there's like a whole contract that she's got, where she got she's only got to be, or like a Lori Harvey situation where you're contracted to be his girlfriend for a certain amount of months. But sis, you need to break that lease and run. Because you aligning yourself with Jonathan Majors at this point is not going to help you in any way with your career. And I know that, look, she's got the new season of Harlem to start filming. I don't know if they started filming yet, but they did get greenlit for a third season. So you don't need the press or the publicity. Or maybe she does. Maybe with when they could use this to the advantage and be like, well, Megan Good, a new show is coming on Amazon Prime, and maybe the numbers will go up. I don't know what the numbers are over there. I do know Reacher is like one of the biggest shows at this point, but I have not checked the ratings or how many people watch Harlem. I do like the show, but we'll just see how that helps, or if that's going to help the show. I don't know if that's what it is, because a lot of things when people do in this business, it's always for attention or to bring awareness to whatever it is that they're doing. So it could be that. Who knows? But good luck, sir. We'll be keeping track of this story as it develops, and especially when it comes down to the sentencing, because I think that'll be the next time we hear from him, unless he says something else dumb online before then. Okay, so let me see what is going on in the topics. Look at that. Vivica's been playing the same types of characters for the last 20 years of her movies. Oh, quiet as it's kept. And she has that Amazon Prime Video visual album coming. Who? Are we talking about J-Lo? Oh yeah, I talked about the video in the beginning of the show, so I guess when y'all see the playback later on, you'll get my review. But for those of you who are tuning in now, I will say that I did like the song and I did like the video. It was cute. I did like seeing Derek Huff up in there dancing with her because they did that what was it, World of Dancing, did that show together, and then they had the guy from Grownish was her other husband. So there was like a multitude of husbands that she had in the video. And I like the fact that she poked fun of herself. So I am definitely curious to see what she's going to bring with this Amazon Prime visual album that's going to be coming out. It does look really good though. Oh, it looks entertaining at least. And Jennifer Lopez, if in her mid-50s, she definitely going to put it down. Because of the performance. That was way back in the day. Vicki Lawrence sang The Lights Went Out in Georgia in the 70s, but she said at the time you couldn't do both sing and act. So she chose act. Well, yeah, the times was different back then. Now with social media and so many other things going on, you have to have multiple sources of income coming in. And I also think probably back then things weren't as expensive as they are now. I think they were paying good money in Hollywood back in those days. So you didn't have to work. You didn't have to sing, dance, act, do all these other things. You could basically make a living off of being an actor. People overuse the word narcissist, but yeah, he definitely gave me narcissist throughout this entire trial. Michael B. Jordan wasn't who I was thinking. I was thinking, oh my God, he played Kris in Get Out, the lead. I don't know why I cannot remember that actor's name. But John was it? No, it wasn't John Boyega. So I'm trying to think of my British black actors, not Idris Elba, but it'll come to me unless somebody Google schmoogles. Yeah, he is definitely trying to act like I told you, he does try to come across like he's a civil rights leader, like the next Mandela, the next Louis Farrakhan. Like he was definitely giving that with his whole situation. U.S. is charged with aiding to Israel to destroy Gaza. Damn, South Africa basically said without our help, Israel would have the funding to do. Yes, thank you. It is Daniel Kaluuya. I'm glad you, because I could not remember his damn name, but thank you. Because, that's why I love when y'all be in the comments. I be having brain farts, child. It'd be a lot that I got to think about when I'm doing this show. But, yeah, so, who was the other one that said they was going to come up with Africa? It wasn't just Africa that was filing charges saying that we're helping aid and abet what's going on in Gaza with the whole, the genocide of the Palestinians. So it's not just them. A lot of people joining forces, and people are mad at Joe Biden right now, especially when he went to that church in, what was it, South Carolina, and people got up and was like, "Free Palestine," and booed him and all this other stuff. And Whoopi Goldberg was on the show because it's funny how like the blogs and everything. And I'm gonna get to the final topic, which is Lil Nas X in a second. But how the blogs were sitting up in here talking about the View talking about foot fetishes. I'm like, that was such a non-story, and I did talk about that on my thing, and I wrote a whole thing underneath it when I talked about that article when I wrote it on my show, on my website today, thekrisavalon.com. And I said, but that ain't the real argument. The real argument is the one that we should be talking about, is the fact of how y'all was mad and talking about, oh, that's not the time and the place to talk about people dying because people died in that church. I'm like, yeah, people died in that church, and he used that place to try to gain black votes, and people, particularly black people, are getting tired of being used by the Democrats to get votes. But you're not doing nothing, for the very community that's been helping get your ass and many of the Democrats in office. So that is the time and the place to bring that up, because people died in the church and hundreds of thousands of people are being killed daily over in Gaza. So deaths are happening all around. It's not one death ain't better than the other, because that's kind of like the whole attitude of like Israel and Palestine as well. They're trying to play this whole waiting game in regards of who death is more important, and it's like, no, death is death. People shouldn't, but we seeing one is outweighing the other. And since not January 6th, because that's the Klan people day for all the racist white folks. So, but yeah, so I don't want to get too into the whole political thing, but that was kind of like what irritated me about the View and stuff, and then that whole thing, how they continuously try to, you know, clean up the whole thing. And they're running around saying that, oh, well, the young people don't know what they're talking about because they're saying that young people are pissed off at the president right now because of his stance on what's going on over there and him not addressing it. And they're like, well, who they going to vote for Trump? It's like, it's not that black and white. That's not how they're looking at it. They're watching genocide happening in real time. And they want something to be done about it. They want our tax-paying dollars to stop funding something we don't agree with. That is what people are saying. So it ain't got nothing to do with, well, we should just vote for the lesser of two evils because y'all gonna have that fascist become president again. That people don't want that situation. So there's a lot of that. And I feel like the older people need to stop looking down, thumbing their nose down at the younger generations and looking at them as like they don't know what the hell they're talking about because y'all choose to ignore what we're seeing happening on social media. Y'all can easily just be spoon-fed a bunch of bullshit because y'all work in Western media. But the kids are watching stuff happening, and myself, we're watching this stuff unfold on TikTok, and we're seeing that Meta is trying to, shadow ban people who talk about what's happening overseas. I'm seeing the videos. I'm seeing dead children and all that other stuff. Oh yeah, so I did see that Juneteenth. That there was a lot of jokes. Happy Juneteenth or the Juneteenth for white people. Like there was a lot of jokes that they was making about January 6th. And I do feel like it's a day for like the white supremacists, the Klansmen. Y'all got your own little holiday. Y'all always want a holiday. Like we got Thanksgiving, Christmas, Pride, Gay Pride. Y'all got y'all day now. White people, y'all got your white Independence Day. It's called Juneteenth. That is funny. All right, so let's move on and get to our final topic, which is this Lil Nas X story. Okay, so I'm sure y'all saw by now the backlash. Well, y'all seen the image of Lil Nas X and the whole him on the cross and all that other stuff. And, people are upset over the fact that you had him on the cross. I didn't see that it was a big deal. I'm like, so many people, especially in the industry or in any kind of art, has always used religious imagery in their work. I don't know why am I surprised by this. Madonna did it in many of her videos, has always used religious imagery. I know she came under fire when she was up there, with the crown of thorns, and she basically was on a disco cross during the Confessions tour. She got ripped a new one over that. And I remember that there was a point on NBC where they tried to edit out that portion of the performance. I believe they actually did, if I'm not mistaken, because everybody was, network TV was up in arms over that and they didn't want to deal with the FCC or whatever the case was. So yeah, we do deal with, in this country still, a lot of censorship. Like I said, we were talking about Gaza and all the other stuff early on. We've been seeing a lot of censorship happening in real time now with social media on certain platforms. So Lil Nas X, has come out, and I did see that he posted the visual on his Instagram of like a teaser for the video that he has coming out on Friday, which I'm actually looking forward to. But I know a lot of people have been saying like they're tired of the trolling, they're tired of all this other stuff. The song is called J. Christ, by the way. And so the 24-year-old gave a subtle tease of his new musical era during the 2023 MTV VMAs when he brought a Bible and wore church-inspired garb. So I guess we didn't understand what all that meant, that was all part of the upcoming era of music that he was working on. I just thought he was just trolling and being controversial. I didn't know this was going to be a part of the upcoming album thing. And who remembers that far back? I don't remember what people be wearing on a lot of these award shows because I guess there's so many. So in an X post following the announcement of J. Christ, Lil Nas X wrote that nowhere in the picture is a mockery of Jesus. But I guess what they're saying is him being on the cross is a mockery of Jesus. He said Jesus' image is used throughout history in people's art all over the world. I'm not making fun of shit. Y'all just got to stop trying to gatekeep a religion that was here before any of us was born. STFU. Now, the two-time Grammy Award winner is playing up the Christian-oriented content for his upcoming album, also responding to push it back late last year. Now, while some still wonder if he was trolling, Lil Nas X posted a snippet of one of his songs, although it's certain whether it'd make the final track list of his next LP. Now, I did hear a little bit of the song, and it did sound a little bit like it reminded me a little bit of Kanye, like sonically, and the stuff I guess he was doing back in the day. And that's another thing too. Glad I brought him up. So y'all had no problem with Jesus. I mean, with him calling himself Jesus. Y'all had no problem with that because a lot of y'all was out here calling him Jesus and all this other mess. Not talking about he being blasphemous. So y'all like to pick and choose who y'all want to use religious imagery in their work. If it's a woman doing it, it's a problem. If it's a gay black man, it's a problem. But it could be a regular, cisgender heterosexual male. Y'all have no problem with that. So kind of come out here and make mockeries of Jesus, all this other stuff. Y'all rather die for him. But Lil Nas X comes out and says, I'm in my religious gospel era, which last time I checked, religion doesn't only belong to one person, or gospel music isn't only secluded to one person. If somebody wants to come out and write a song that is, or they're feeling their spiritual oats, and they want to come out and write a song that is about thanking God for where their career is, or whatever the case is, shouldn't they have a right to do that? Now, I will say that I do get sick and tired of the antics with Lil Nas X. I do feel like 9 times out of 10, he is always trolling. So I get why people say what they say. They don't necessarily know, okay, like, are you for real? Or are you trying to be funny? Are you trolling? Because a lot of times he does troll. So we can't sit up here and try to act like that, people always picking me, people always saying I'm trolling. And then when you finally, because, it's always the person like that always jokes. And then it's like when that one time they serious, then y'all want to be like, well, you wonder why nobody takes you seriously. So that's what I think that is. And I do agree with him on the aspect of like, a lot of people, particularly in the religious community, you're always trying to gatekeep who you feel should be allowed in or shouldn't be allowed in. And don't they say, and even though I don't follow the Bible or stuff, but I will remember some stuff to throw back in the hypocrite face. But didn't they say that all is welcome or come as you are, whatever the case is? Like, we shouldn't be exclusionary or exclusive to certain people, or excluding people, I should probably say. We shouldn't exclude people because you don't like how they look or how they dress or what they represent and all the other stuff. Because for y'all talk about God so much and the Lord and religion and stuff, God's supposed to love everybody, not just a select few. So we got to stop doing that. We got to stop trying to be so divisive and judgmental and turning our nose up at people who have a difference of opinion. Now, look, when the video come out, and I did see the video floating around a little bit of video, I don't know if I didn't want to take the chance and post it here because, when you part of like those major labels and stuff, they pull things for copyright, but you can go on his Instagram and look at the snippet that's floating around, because I don't want to put it here and get risk, copyright things, and my thing gets flagged and then the episode get taken down. So people should have a right to say what it is they want to say or express themselves however they want to express themselves, because he's an artist. He should be allowed to express himself. And I give kudos, whether you like it or not. I do love the fact that Nas is out here pushing buttons and doors. Look, I already said he went to the school of Madonna, causing a commotion and really getting under people's skin and trying to provoke thought. So if he's doing it the smart way, where he's trolling to, and the imagery is also like a lot of thought put into it, because a lot of people always just dismiss Madonna as being, oh, she's just provocative, or she's always doing things to grab people's attention. But if you really paid attention to a lot of the imagery and the songs and the things that she was putting out there was a point and there was a reason why she was doing what she was doing. Now, if you're just out here intentionally trolling, I don't feel like it'll be able to do what it needs to be done in regards of getting the creativity out there and people understanding it. But if it's done well and the visuals and everything really is giving us something a lot deeper to think about right after we've seen the video, instead of y'all just being on the surface and talking about, oh, because he's on a cross, or because he's wearing this certain garb that is rooted in religion, that he's just trolling, then to me, you're not paying attention and you're just basic. So good luck to you, Nas. I will be waiting until we got 2 more days before the video drops. There's a lot of people dropping music, because I believe Ariana Grande is dropping her song this week too, and the video, which, speaking of Madonna, like I was saying, is based in Madonna's Vogue or whatever the case is. So I'll definitely be watching the video this week to see what he's planning on bringing to the table and if the song is good or not. So we'll see about that. Okay, we got a lot of comments that I see up in here, and then we are outie. So Twitter has. Oh wait, I saw that. Hello from Baltimore. And then on the confession tour, this is what I was talking about with the whole disco cross thing, where, the whole thing with Madonna and people, the whole thing with them having an issue with her posting, doing that imagery and stuff. But I got it. It was like, and it was to live to tell. So I was like, what's wrong with that? It's like she was pouring her heart out, confessing, putting her heart, wearing her heart on her sleeve. I got the metaphors and stuff with it. And yes, it was going to be controversial because controversy is what sells and it makes people pay attention. I've been seeing people getting posts or comments removed just for saying things a certain way. Yeah, it's annoying. That's why I can't with social media as much more. This is why I really don't respond to a lot of stuff. Say it was only edited for the US. The rest of the world, it had uncensored when it aired back in 2000. And look, the good thing is I bought the Confessions DVD. Was it a DVD or I think it was, I'm trying to remember because I have it up in a box somewhere in my parents' attic. I didn't carry a lot of my stuff. But I'm trying to remember if I think it was part of it was confessional, but it was like in like one of those booklets, like not even like the big regular DVD size thing, like when you buy a regular DVD from the store. I believe it was like in like a small like a CD type case, but it was like one of those fold outs, and it had like the tour and everything up in there. So I do have that somewhere. So I do, but in the DVD that I bought of the tour, it does have everything uncensored. And when you watch it on YouTube, you can watch the whole concert on YouTube. It has everything on there. So people aren't as bent out of shape as they were 18 years ago, I think, when Confessions came out. Would you agree that he is a Madonna of the plus community in terms of pushing? Yeah, that's why I was like, and before I read the comments, it was like, yeah, I do agree that he is kind of like this generation's Madonna. Like he's not afraid to push boundaries or push buttons and be controversial and bring attention to what he's doing. I wish a lot more celebrities were like that instead of playing it safe and giving us the basic boring bullshit. So who knows? Maybe in 2024 we'll get a lot of that when it comes to artists not being afraid of saying it like they mean it and giving their opinion. Okay, I see something I'm in here and I feel like that's some spam, so I'm not clicking on that. I think he's trying to be. So she did say she's proud of him for pushing buttons and making people think. I would love to see Madonna work with Lil Nas X. I know she did something with Sam Smith and Kim Petras. Sam Smith comes across as someone who tries too hard, in my opinion, and Kim Petras is cute or whatever, but the music ain't doing what needs to be done. Well, Problematique, I did like that record. Y'all already know about that. But the other album, Feed the Beast, I just felt like that was just some paint by numbers dance pop record. It really wasn't giving what needed to be given, in my opinion. But I do feel like if she really wants somebody like a good collaborator, I could definitely see her working with Lil Nas X. That would be, in my opinion, a way more interesting collaboration. Besides, like to me, I felt like two collaborations I've seen her do that I wasn't really that excited about. The one she did with Sam Smith, that Vulgar song, I was like, trash, next. I don't know what she was thinking doing that. And then the other song she did with Maluma, the two songs she did with Maluma. I don't think she should have worked with him. Like, I could have sworn, I would have liked to have seen her. I mean, I like her with Takesha. That seems more like up her alley because Takesha controversial too. And she's very much sexual. I didn't like the stuff she did with Maluma. Maluma is cute to look at. Yeah, he pretty. You see a lot of Colombian men that look like him. But, he is pretty to look at. But those songs just wasn't, they were cute, but not memorable. Trolling is, well, it depends on, well, I guess maybe I'm thinking from more of a standpoint of when you're doing something provocative or controversial that people do remember. But yeah, if you're like deliberately out here trolling, yeah, it's a momentary high, but it isn't something that is memorable. So I do agree with that. And so the only thing we allow for dead naming is Twitter. These are facts. F Elon Musk. I wish, but guess what? Now we got Don Lemon out here, got a whole talk show on X. So we'll see if how that works out. So I don't particularly care for X, but look, I'm streaming my show right now from X. I'm streaming, but I'm streaming from a lot of places. I'm on Facebook, I'm on YouTube, I'm on Twitch, and I did say I wasn't gonna call it X, right? I said I was gonna call it Twitter because I don't understand the point of calling it X. Like X makes it sound like it's porn, even though there is a lot of porn on Twitter. But I prefer calling it Twitter because I'm like, this is so stupid when he just sat and called it X. But anyway, so now we are at the end of our show. Thank you all for tuning in to today's episode of Kris Avalon Unfiltered. I want to thank everybody who was in the chat commenting, including Robert, Felix. I did see that Sailor Mermaid was here. Roro, as usual. We had Mrs. Wilson. We also had, yeah, I think I pretty much said everybody. We had a lot of people that was in the comments and a lot of I saw like a lot of, and Miss John Mitchell. I did see a lot of people were also commenting or watching as well. So, yeah, so once again, before we leave, definitely hit that like and subscribe button. Also hit that notification so that way you know when we go live with new episodes. I may do one tomorrow, I may do one Friday. You never know. It depends on what type of topics and stuff comes out. That's the only way you'll know when I go live. And yes, we do a live stream, multiple times a week. If you have anything to say, you can always drop it in the comments. I will read it, good, better, indifferent, as long as it pertains to the topics at hand. So yes, thank you all for watching yet again. And until next time, ciao, darling.